What's up guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. So it is official, the DJI Osmo Action 2 is here. Now straight off the bat, I don't have one, but people do. And I've spent a lot of today watching YouTube videos. I've watched Matty Hapoya's video, I've watched Peter McKinnon's video, Potato Jet's video, and a couple of others as well, alongside all the official DJI promo stuff. So this video is to save you from watching all those videos. I'm going to try and put all the info in one place. And no, I'm joking. You should go watch all those videos because those guys have done great work with it. Real good videos. I subscribe to all those channels. So make sure you go check those out because they give you loads of really good information. What I'm actually going to do today is just kind of talk about my initial thoughts because I've got to say, from everything I've heard so far, I feel a little bit undecided. I wouldn't go as far as saying disappointed, but I'm maybe a little bit underwhelmed with what I've heard so far. Before we get into the content of that, I'm going to ask you guys to do all the usual stuff for me. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps me out loads and loads on my channel and I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Loads of other Osmo Action 2 videos to come right here on this channel over the course of the next 2 weeks. Stick around to the end of the video to find out about that. Okay, so first of all, I think the main thing to talk about is, of course, the fact that this has a modular design. Of course, the Osmo Action 1, very much the kind of traditional action camera, just like the GoPro kind of shape with the lens on the front and the bit, and of course the front screen, which was big at the time compared to GoPro. Whereas, of course, the Osmo Action 2 is much smaller. It is literally kind of almost a square, like just the size of that lens piece, so it really is small. Now you can get modular bits that attach onto it, and it has like a battery pack you can get with it and a screen which you can get with it, which is probably the bit I'm a bit more interested in. But just the fact that it is so small just on its own, I really like that. A lot of my videos I want to better show some like point of view stuff or kind of fairly subtly film what I'm doing, because sometimes I'm working and doing things in sort of busier places, but I want to better subtly record that, and actually this camera looks like it would really help me do that. I don't mean like I'm trying to secretly spy on people, but the fact that I can record something subtly for myself without drawing a huge amount of attention to it, I do quite like that. And the way it has the kind of pendant that sits under your shirt and goes on your front or on a hat or something, and the fact it's magnetic so you could stick it to pretty much anything you want to, I really like that, and I think I will find that useful. Now, one of the things that I was initially a bit disappointed to hear is that if you just have the main camera module, it doesn't have the ability to put in an external SD card. Now, initially I heard that and I thought, well, that's crazy. But actually, I mean, you know what? It has a 32GB internal memory. And funnily enough, the memory cards that I use with my Osmo Action 1 are 32GB. So maybe that's not so much of a problem. If I wanted to record something longer, like a vlog or a video, I probably would be using it with the modular attachment for the screen anyway, and then it does have the ability to put in an external SD card. So certainly a point which initially made me think like, oh, that doesn't sound great, but actually now that I've thought about it, maybe that's not really too much of a problem. Talking about that modular accessory, I do like the fact that, of course, as I said, you've got the size and the ability to film something for yourself a bit more subtly, but then you can also use it for vlogging if you want to. You have the modular attachment that goes on there with the screen, which turns it into a nice, easy to use vlogging camera, just like the Osmo Action 1. Now, on the subject of vlogging, apparently it has different microphones, like multiple microphones around that modular screen accessory, so it'd be really interesting to see what the sound quality is like, whether or not the sound is maybe improved compared to the Osmo Action 1, because the audio straight out of camera on the Action 1 isn't fantastic, so it'd be really good to see how that compares. I wasn't going to focus too much on the actual kind of settings ability with the Osmo Action 2. It does have kind of everything you'd expect. There is no 8K, but we kind of thought that already from the rumours. It does do 4K 120 frames per second though, which sounds really cool. Although apparently there is a slight issue with that, which we'll talk about in just a little while. But that does sound really cool. It's got a few other shooting modes as well. It has the extra like wide angle field of view mode that we hoped for. That sounds really fantastic. Be interested to see what that looks like in like a vlog capacity, whether or not it's too wide and kind of stretches your face, or whether or not that could work and could could add something a little bit different to a vlog. Because sometimes with the Osmo Action 1, you do find yourself a little bit too close and you have to kind of hold it further away. So it'd be cool to see if that wider field of view makes a difference. Now, another thing that when I initially looked at the camera and I thought, oh, I'm not going to like that, was the fact that it didn't have the ability to kind of add the feet to it. Now, I can see you can get like a waterproof case that goes with it, and I suppose you could say, well, that's exactly the same as the Osmo Action. You have to put it in the cage for the feet. But a cage is quite a different thing from a waterproof case. But actually, I've seen that my worries on that are maybe kind of null and void, because you can get an accessory, or two different accessories in fact, one of which allows you to just attach it to like a regular tripod mount, and the other one that does have the little feet, what I would call the GoPro feet, which means you could use it with all of your existing Osmo Action and GoPro accessories. It was cool to see that as well as apparently improved Rocksteady, it also has the horizon leveling, just like we've been used to see recently in the GoPro. So that's really cool, although in Matty's video, he did a bit of testing on that and he thought it wasn't as good as the GoPro Hero 10. So that's a bit of a shame. That'd be interesting to see, because kind of this camera's ability to beat the Hero 10 in some areas was going to be fairly important, I think. And actually, I think it already has beaten the Hero 10 in some areas, the modular aspect and the size of the main camera. I think those are real big advantages. But there are some other things that so far don't make me feel too great about it. Number one being the battery. If you do want to use just the camera on its own, the battery life is reduced. Now, apparently, if you do add that module on, it kind of near enough, I think, doubles the battery's ability. So that's good, but you might not get the ability to use all of that battery anyway, unless you're going to use it in short bursts, because one of the things that was picked up in both Peter McKinnon's video and Matty Hapoya's video was that the camera did overheat. Now, we've heard a lot about overheating recently, right? The GoPro Hero 10 apparently has lots of overheating issues, so I was a little bit concerned about that, and I do wonder whether or not that's going to make a big difference and whether or not it's actually going to be a problem in real life. I say in real life because in reality, if I'm out and about shooting a vlog or shooting something, I do shoot it in very short bursts. I would very rarely film continuously for more than perhaps just a few minutes at a time. So that might be something that I actually never even notice, but it will be interesting to see. One of the things that I picked up on, watching Matty's video especially, he did lots of footage of him on, I think it was like an electric surfboard, which looked awesome by the way, but that's not what this video is about. And all of his footage, you could see the big long pole in the footage. Now, of course, it's there, that makes sense, but I think where we've grown so used to seeing footage like that, shot with the 360 cameras, which then take the pole out of the footage, it just looked really odd to me, and it really stood out, and you notice that pole there so much. And that's one of the things that worries me a little bit. There were rumours about whether or not the Action 2 would have 360, and it doesn't, and it seemed like it wouldn't. I didn't think it was going to have that. It's not something I was expecting. But it does kind of have that big question of actually, is an action camera like this even worth it anymore when you can get something like the Insta360 where you get that 360 footage and it kind of is the equivalent of an action camera, but just looks so much cooler. And that's going to be a big question for me. It'll be really interesting to see how we get on with the actual camera. And so look, on the topic of that, whilst yes, I'm saying I'm unsure, and actually I really am unsure, I've still got one ordered. It should be here hopefully tomorrow or the next day. So over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll have a few good videos on this channel. Going to do a bit more of an in-depth look at the actual camera itself, physically, and of course the settings. We're going to be doing a direct comparison with the Osmo Action 2 against the Osmo Action 1, so we can look at some of the big comparisons. And I might even see if I can get hold of a GoPro Hero 10 so we can compare the Osmo Action 2 with the GoPro Hero 10, because that would be quite a cool thing to do. If you guys want to see those videos, make sure you subscribe, stick around, because we've got all those coming over the course of the next couple of weeks. I should just touch with the fact that I've ordered one. I can tell you now, to get the camera with the modular screen adapter, so really to give me the ability to do everything this one can do, because the screen adapter gives you the front screen and of course the back screen is on the main camera module. That cost me 455 of my great British pounds. And that's going to be one of the really interesting things when we do the comparison between this camera and the Action 2, because you can get this for about 250 now. So that's a big price difference. It's going to be really interesting to see whether or not that $455 is worth it. I believe for you guys in the US, that same setup, that same package with the screen is $519 US. I think you can get it with the power pack for $399. And actually, I don't know what the price, the UK price was with just the power pack. Maybe that was $399 as well, pounds. I'm not entirely sure. That will be in the next video. But when you start to think about that price, I think you can get the Insta360R with the 360 mod for like £400 now. So it really does start to make you think which camera is better, and hopefully we will answer those questions over the course of the next couple of weeks right here on this channel. Guys, make sure you go watch Peter McKinnon's video, Matty Hapoy's video, Potato Chet's video, and any other videos about the Osmo Action 2 that you want to go see on YouTube, because they'll share a load more information with you, as well of course as you'll be able to see the actual camera and some footage from it as well. We'll have that for you right here on this channel real soon. In the meantime guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.